Hello, BookTube. I thought I'd give you all a March Mystery Madness update of sheer insanity. I was inspired. Well, actually, let's do the broad scope first. March Mystery Madness is a big BookTube event. It's coming up. It starts exactly a week from today. In 1 week, it will be March the 1st, no matter what your weather feels like. And it's during the month of March. Myself, I am one of the co-hosts, and there are a whole bunch of other co-hosts that are great. We celebrate murder mysteries for the whole month of March. Read a bunch of them, talk about them, make videos about them if you have a BookTube channel. I love March Mystery Madness. I love murder mysteries just in general. And I love my co-host, Elizabeth at Lizzie Faye Loves Books, has assembled a great team of co-hosts for March Mystery Madness. Our theme this time around, keep in mind, this is all friendly. This is all in fun. Do whatever you like. We're encouraging you to indulge in reading murder mysteries in the month of March. But we do have a theme, and the theme is 2 by 2. That is a twin or two theme of some kind in your reading. So is it the author's second book? Was it published in a book in a year that ends with 2? That Elizabeth told me that was my way out because I read mostly new releases. So 2022 works just fine for that. I don't want to do it next year. But that means that I can indulge in reading even more murder mysteries that come out in the month of March than I would ordinarily. But lots of other things too. You know, are there 2 dead bodies? Is it the second mystery by this author that you've ever read? All kinds of things. You could even go for, the Hail Mary pass of just man's inherent duality. Which you can use about literally anything. You could apply that and find it in a Betty Crocker cookbook. So there you go. You're all set. And you can ignore the prompt entirely. But it was my intention, my original plan, my original sort of quasi-TBR for March Mystery Madness was to read all of the murder mysteries that have come out in the American book market that are published in March. I figured that was ambitious enough, right? That's a large number of books. It's actually, realistically speaking, more books than I can get to. But if I start with the major new releases from the major publishing houses, and then work my way down to smaller publishing houses, and then to self-published stuff, I can probably get a lot of those mysteries done in the month of March if I make it a priority. I thought, okay, well, that's a TBR, and it's a big one. If you follow the hashtag for March Mystery Madness, or MMM, you will see a slew of videos. The hosts have been extra enthusiastic this time around. Mysteries are such fun that I look forward to this event every year, and I know that a lot of you do too. In fact, 2022, I've heard from a lot more of you than I did last year about how much you're looking forward to this, how much you like reading murder mysteries, and having sort of BookTube's permission to just go overboard and read as many of them as you can. So I thought that my TBR, such as it is, I mean, already if you watch this channel, my TBRs are a little on the odd side. I thought that was ambitious enough. And then I watched Beth at Elizabeth Tyree. I'll leave a link to the video that I'm talking about down below. She did a video on March Mystery Madness and writing. And she decided that despite all that she's got to do, she's co-hosting March Mystery Madness, she's doing a bunch of other reading events, and she also teaches high school, which, is hazard pay right there. She decided in an excess of insanity that in addition to all that, she was going to write a mystery novel in March. And when I first heard that, my first thought was, well, that's in violation of our theme. So the only way that you can make that right, the only way that you can bring that incredibly insane plan in line with our theme of 2 by 2 is if another March Mystery Madness co-host also decides to write a murder mystery in March. So I'm right alongside my compadre. I also am going to write a murder mystery in March. And I'm going to go even further than that. I'm going to make the novel 222 pages long. So it'll be a short thing. It won't be the finished thing. It'll be a draft. And if I like it, I can expand on it. But I'm going to, in addition to there being 2 of us now who are writing mystery novels in March, I'm also going to do 222 pages. Now I'll do the math. I'll have Google do the math on how many pages that is per day. I took quite a bit of ribbing up in Vermont over the fact that when a math problem of even what a normal person would consider the simplest kind comes up, I immediately ask Google for the answer. I have no idea how to do math, even arithmetic, even simple arithmetic. I have no idea how to do it, no conception whatsoever. So if you were to ask me right now, well, if you're going to write a book that's 222 pages long, you're going to do it in 30 days, how many pages is that per day? I literally would never be able to divine the answer on my own. I would never be able to figure out what the answer is. I wouldn't even be able to come close. My first guess at that would be it's 20 pages a day. And I think that's probably wrong. I have no idea what the right answer is. So I will go to Google and get Google to tell me how many pages I need to do per day. But I've already come up with a story. Oh my God, the minute I thought about joining Beth in this insanity, the story came to me just in a bolt. It's going to be set in the Regency period. It's going to be set in a country house, which I love. You all know, you've been following my library tour. I have a ton of books on English country houses, and I love them. I absolutely love them, not only as settings in their own right and cynosures of history, but also settings for murder mysteries. I think they're great settings for murder mysteries. I already know, so that came to me in a minute, but also my protagonist and the crime. I know all of it. It all came to me all at once. So it's set in Regency England, and my protagonists are twins. They're teenagers, 2 teenage boys. They are the youngest sons of a noble family. They have an older sister and an older brother. And their older brother is the heir to the estates, to their old father, who they scarcely ever see. But they do have some dealings with their sister and their brother, who are significantly older than they are. They are teenagers. And they are identical twins. And they are called by the beau monde, they are called by the ton, the Apollo twins. That's their nickname because they're both beautiful. So, but they do have different personalities. And the London world might not know that, and they might have grown up playing pranks on the London world by each pretending to be the other. But they have very distinct personalities, and of course their names are not Apollo. They have names in the family, they have honorary titles or whatnot in the family, but the society calls them the Apollo twins, and this is going to be the first Apollo twins adventure, where they are a guest at a country house where a murder is committed. And I'm going to follow through. It's a little bit obnoxious, and probably in a final draft I won't lay it on quite with so heavy a trowel, but the murder that's committed ends up having 2 people who are obvious suspects. So everyone is wondering, well, did they both do it? Or did one do it, not the other, even though the evidence looks to incriminate both of them? And the thing that my boys are going to figure out, the thing that the Apollo twins are going to figure out, in addition to who done it, they are also going to figure out that the murder that's known is only 1/2, that there actually is a second victim that nobody knows about until they figure out where to find that second victim. First they figure out there must be a second victim, and then they figure out where to go to find it. That scene, the scene of them figuring that out and then going and then finding the body, came to me completely written in my mind. Just completely written for the spine chill of that moment. Because it's not a Hollywood reveal. They go looking to find something gruesome, and they do find something gruesome. I'm going to work out their personalities. I'm going to work out their relationship with their family. I know already that their father and their older brother are well known to the Prince Regent, to royal circles. It's not just that they're wealthy landowners, extremely wealthy landowners. Both the boys have independent livings settled on themselves. That's how wealthy the family is. These boys don't have to worry about buying a commission in an army or taking on a curatorship somewhere. They both have money. But I already decided that I want them to have also some sort of clout. I want them to have entree, right? So that they have grounds to examine things. So the brother and the father are both well known to the Prince Regent. The father was well known to the king. So they move in the very highest circles of society, and they have money of their own. And I'm going to take it from there. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to call it. Of course, when you're writing something, you want a working title, and the working title wants to bring the whole thing straight to your mind. You don't want the working title to be artistic. It's very rarely that the working title will end up being the finished title, but you don't want the working title to be artistic. You want the working title to remind you, the working title is for you. You want the working title to remind you in a minute of everything that you're doing. So I'm thinking that the working title of the thing will be the Apollo twins. And I'll come up, either I'll call this first installment in their adventures the Apollo twins, or I'll give it some sort of hokey name, the Apollo twins and something or other. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do in March, starting in a week. I'm going to take a week, this coming week, to do my notes, do my preliminary research, get all my facts straight, all that sort of stuff, and also plot out the murder and the red herrings and all of that. And then I will just write in March. And who knows whether I'll get to 222 pages or not, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And at least then Beth won't be suffering alone. So I want to give you a March Mystery Madness update on those two things. Number one, it dawned on me that I hadn't given you my TBR. My TBR, effectively, is every new release mystery that's published in the month of March. So the stuff that I'm getting in the mail that's mysteries doesn't count. I'll do it before then, or I'll do it after then. I'm going to concentrate on murder mysteries in March, and I will do a video in a week or 6 days or something like that, giving you an overview of what's coming out. Just so that we can be roughly on the same page. I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff that will come under my notice that I don't know about subsequent. That was part one of this video, was to give you a rough idea of my TBR, which is to read the new releases for the month, which is something I would do anyway, but I probably wouldn't do it with such energy or comprehensiveness as I am when it's part of such a fun event. And thing number two is that I am taking the madness part of March Mystery Madness literally, and I'm going to write the first draft of a novel. It's just something, it's going to be a lot of fun. Twins have always intrigued me. A chance to write them, wonderful. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait. Always a good sign with a new work, with a proposed work, with a plotted work, is when you can't wait to start. That's always a good sign. So there's your March Mystery Madness update. I'm going to try to remember to put all the hashtags on here. Elizabeth has been over it with me, and I'm terrible at that sort of thing, but I want not to be. I want to be good at it, so I will try to leave all the links so that you can get all caught up on March Mystery Madness stuff. But that's coming up. I'll leave as many links as I can think of. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.